Hello and welcome back. All right, so we're talking about DWC. That's deep water culture. There's a lot of different types of DWC, but ultimately we're going to be talking about straight up in a bucket, 13 gallons of water with an air pump. Okay, so DWC is really cool, and we're just hitting the time of year where it's excellent for running DWC. Why? Because you need to keep your temperature in your water under control. That's right. Keep that temperature under control. Now, the best way to keep it under control is obviously having a cool atmosphere around it, as well as you can run it through a cooler, a water cooler, okay? Not just a regular old like water cooler where you take, out to the beach and whatnot, but they actually make specialized water coolers that you can buy. And what you do is you hook up your reservoir to this water cooler with a line, and it runs through the water cooler and then gives you an outline, and then you run that back into your bucket. Boom, water cooled. Done. Now, the biggest reason that you want to make sure that your DWC water stays at a good temperature, and by a good temperature I mean about 68 degrees, 70 tops, because 72 degrees and you have the possibility of running into issues. Now, issues are not fun. The worst issues that you may run into are rot, pythium, and maybe some other buggies and stuff. They like warmer water too. They don't like colder water as much. So, that being said, always make sure that you've got your temperature for your DWC water in check. Now, your roots are suspended in this water, so you don't want it to be too cold, but as I said, about 68 degrees and you're going to be good, alright? So, that being said, rock and roll with that DWC. We're talking about 13 gallons. 13 gallons of solution, depending on the size of the plant, might be able to get drank up in about, 24 hours. So, you want to keep an eye on them puppies. If you only have them in a 13-gallon easy store tote or whatever size tote you got them in, or some people even use a trash can. I don't necessarily recommend that myself, but I like the easy store 13-gallon totes, and they work really well. They've got a top that you can actually cut a hole into and drop an 8-inch easy grow net pot into that, and you can use whatever grow medium you want inside of that net pot, whether it be cocoa or stone wool, or heck, you could even use soil if you wanted to. Why not? But go ahead and get that medium into that 8-inch net pot, get your plant down in there, and then fill up that reservoir. Make sure your reservoir gets about that much above the bottom of the net pot, and that way your plant is going to have water to sip from. Alright, now as that plant grows, it's going to drip them little rooties down into the solution that you've got in there, and they're going to go to town. Now, make sure that you've got not too much air, but you've got just enough air. You don't want teeny amounts of air, but you don't want big giant bubbles. Why? Because too many bubbles will actually cause friction. And what does friction cause? You got it, more heat. So make sure that you got your heat in check again, okay? And that is also accomplished by making sure that you have the proper air stones or the proper amount of air flowing to those air stones. All right. So that being said, deep water culture is an amazing way to grow. You can accomplish so much with deep water culture where you really couldn't with some other mediums. Take soil, for instance. You might have to veg for, couple, 3 months just to be able to get the same size of a plant that you would with DWC in maybe a quarter of that time span. Yeah, you heard it right. That's amazing growth. So, what should you do? If you're interested, try growing DWC. It's not that hard. All you need is some nutrients, a little bit of, liquid on hand to be able to make up that nutrient mix. And then you want to make sure that you got at least like 10 or 13 gallons. And the reason that I say this is that the pH will fluctuate more with a lower size reservoir. That's right. So you want to make sure that you got a decent sized reservoir for your plant to drink from, so that pH isn't fluctuating around like, oh, holy hell, and you can't control it. You want to be able to control that pH, especially with DWC. And for DWC, you want to keep that right at 5.8 and then pop it up to maybe 6.1 to 6.4 in the middle to end of flowering. All right, now DWC, you may ask, how do you flush? Well, it's really, really simple. Here, all you do is you fill it up with just straight RO water, nothing else. That's how you flush a DWC plant. It's very easy. Probably, depending on the nutrient regimen, you may only need to flush it for about 2 to 3 days. All right, guys, we got to get out of here and get on with the rest of our night. But thank you guys so much. Check out our website, reefermadness-genetics.net, and qsseeds.com, our seed vendor. And you can get our genetics and grow them yourself. Now, you can also check out our website for some helpful grow tips and some links to some other videos that we have on our YouTube channel. You're already here. You might as well subscribe and like if you enjoyed what we have to present you. So, that being said, take care, have a wonderful night, and a happy week. Happy holidays. Peace.